live, going live. We are live.
Am I just clicking this?
Yeah, if you hit refresh, it should.
Oh, refresh.
Squared away.
The lights aren't good.
I just like to.
They look very crooked.
I haven't adjusted them at all.
Let's see.
Just making sure they're pointing in.
We haven't adjusted them since.
I haven't moved since. Just making sure they're angled at you.
Okay, let's see. Hey folks, how's everybody doing? If you could let Paul know if you can hear me okay, that would be helpful. I think I'm centered.
Yep.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, wonderful. We're going to allow a few people to tune in here, and while we do that, I do want to make a couple quick announcements. All right, so my next Ask Ivy show will be on Monday, July 6th. Same time, same place. We have a free mini class, part of the quarantine series. I've been putting on one free mini class per week. Since the quarantine began, we have high vibration versus low vibration coming up on Sunday, July 5th at 9 p.m. This is all about how you have a choice every day to tap into a higher vibrational energy or a lower vibrational energy. When you tap into higher, we see better health, we see more prosperity, all kinds of benefits. But when we go low, we have all types of problems. Now on that show, we're going to break down the difference between the two, but we're also going to show you tools that you can use every day to stay in a high vibration. And I'm bringing on special guest, Christina Del Rey, astrologer here at the Ivy League Psychic Academy. And she is going to be talking about the major planetary shifts that are going on throughout the summer months that can cause you to come from a really low vibration. It's interesting. Okay, so hope to have you guys tuning in for that. And then a couple other classes that are coming up. Why Mediumship, the lost language, and how it heals every aspect of your life. That's going to be Thursday, July 16th at 9 p.m. And then I also have one coming up. What are they hiding? How your body gives you physical cues to reveal when someone is wearing a mask around you. That's going to be Thursday, July 23rd. We also have the Protestor and Activist Anti-Burnout Empathic Training. If you are a long-term activist, even if you're a protester who's doing this for the first time or you do it sporadically, I'm going to teach you tools and skills for the long haul that can help you to protect yourself, cleanse, block. But as far as you activists are concerned, we're also going to talk about long-term strategies that you can use to get the job done. That's going to be Friday, July 31st at 7 p.m. Okay, do we have a few people tuned in?
Yeah, it's looking good.
All right, looks like we have a few people tuned in, and my fan is now running.
You want an up one, or is it good?
Thank you, Paul. No, that's perfect.
Fine line between cool and loud.
Yes, it is.
So.
And it's a fine line between, are my eyeballs going to dry out, or, is this going to be helpful? I do believe my air conditioner broke today, so it's going to be a little colorful in here, mostly red. I do want to get into your horoscopes now. However, you guys can start posting your questions. Paul will be taking them, and he prefers that you put a name. If you are asking about someone living, deceased, a lover, you're asking about your pet, it can really be anything, but it speeds up the process for him, so please do include names with your questions, and he'll be getting to those at the end. But for now, we are going to get into your weekly horoscopes. Oops, I think I lost my dates. Is this June 29th to July 6th?
You got it.
Very good. So welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium and a Taino Arawak. This is the Ask Ivy show, where I will be taking your personal questions and giving your weekly horoscope. Okay, these horoscopes are running from today, June 29th, to next Monday, July 6th. Now, I do want to explain to everyone that for the last 8 years, I have been primarily using Facebook and Instagram. That is my main source of paid advertising to promote this movement forward. And we have decided, due to their lack of change over the spread of hate that they promote, we are joining together with Stop Hate for Profit, that campaign, alongside the NAACP and the Anti-Defamation League, to force Facebook and Instagram into making some much needed changes. Now, with a small business like mine, this can be a very painful process. I'm not Coca-Cola, I'm not Unilever, okay? So what I'm asking of you guys is to please share this video and to continue to promote my YouTube channel by subscribing, or maybe share your individual horoscope. That would be great to help us move forward in this fight for change. Okay, like always, we are going to start with Aries. Aries, what is going on with you for this week? On Monday the 29th, today, I have you moving forward in a destiny-charted manner, which means that there is a sense of knowing what direction you're supposed to be going in, and the universe is supporting you in that movement. However, I see you taking a lot of baggage along with you, or taking along a great deal of responsibility. So today, one of the things that you may be experiencing is a need to unload a lot. And I think that what's wise is to know how far you should really be pushing, how far you should really be going before it becomes an issue for you where you're getting bogged down and overburdened. Okay. On Tuesday the 30th, there is talk of TikTok, and I see a clock. And my sense with this is that you're running out of time on some type of a decision you're supposed to be making. So if there's a contract that needs to be signed, if you need to come back to the table in a relationship or a work situation, any kind of a partnership, you may want to be prepared before you run out of time to do that, so that you are collected, you're calm, you're cool, you dot your I's, you cross your T's, but you are definitely running out of time to make some move here in your life. On Thursday the 2nd, there's talk of cleansing and a sense of you being a little bit sad or heavy or confused. Now, it didn't feel like anything major, but it was sort of a fog in your brain, a low-level, heavy energy that I don't think you've been able to shake for some time. Now, for some of you, I'm going back even between the last 2 and 3 years, and for some, it's only been like 4 weeks or 4 months. But I do feel that that is the day when the universe is supporting you the most in cleansing and washing away. But you are going to have to do that work to move forward in your life. On Friday the 3rd and Saturday the 4th, we have sort of a mutual theme on those days. And this has everything to do with you thinking. Now, while I am the biggest promoter on staying out of the left side of your brain too much and mostly going with your gut, I'm going to have to go against my golden rule on these 2 days and say, no, it's really going to come down to logic. Outside of the box, thinking almost like a soldier in a time of, combat, coming up with solutions, being innovative. I have you really going to the left side of your brain on both of those days, and your ancestors, your guides, the universe supporting you and coming up with an answer to find a solution to a problem. On Sunday the 5th, I have you needing to take care of some type of a broken heart issue with yourself, or with yourself also, for some of you, in relation to someone else. And there's talk of you needing to be bold and just do it. Okay, so be bold in making moves or saying whatever it is that you have to say on that day. On Monday the 6th, I think we're looking back at that heart issue from the 5th, but on that particular day, the 6th, we're talking about bringing healing to that heart. Okay, so that will be easier to come to fruition and bring some type of closure and moving on. There's also talk of promotion from your elders. And this could be living or deceased elders, but I'm talking about either an inheritance or I'm talking about some type of a promotion with them accepting you for who you are. There's going to be some leveling up for you that comes by their hand, offering down to you a generation or two behind them this opportunity to take advantage and move forward with your life. So anything is possible as a gift, financial or otherwise, from your elders on that day. Aries, have a great week. Tauruses, what is going on with you Tauruses this week? On Monday the 29th and Tuesday the 30th, we have sort of a mutual theme on these 2 days. And it has to do with talking, meaning you speaking clearly and taking on a leadership role in that. My sense here is that you didn't sign up for it. I don't really know that you want it, but it seems that wherever you go, in family, in your social life, at your work, with projects or hobbies, it seems like wherever you go those 2 days, you're put in a position of leadership. And sometimes what that means is that all eyes are on you, and whatever it is that you say, it's taken like the Bible, okay? People are sort of hanging on every word, and with that comes greater responsibility. So while I do feel that you're free floating, you're free speaking, okay, and falling, so to speak, I also feel that you need to be mindful that you are an influencer, and that if you play your hand wisely, the universe is interested in promoting you here soon for that leadership, okay? And it's quite possible that other people in authority positions are also watching you do this. On Wednesday the 1st, there's talk of know who you are. And I see you around some social situation where you're feeling as though you're kind of losing yourself in that, or you're not really sure how much you still fit into that atmosphere. And I think it's going to be a day for you to examine who exactly you are, more so even who have you become and what no longer fits or serves you. On Friday the 3rd, there's talk of a big decision being made. Now, your ancestors and guides said to me, quote, it's up to you. So while it's up to you what you do, this decision that you make on that day is either really going to propel you forward in your life or it is really going to take you backward in a large way. So be careful. Sunday the 5th, there's talk of advice from mothers, aunties, grandmothers, maternal energies, living or deceased. You'll be hearing from them. And you may sometimes need to look back on what your mothers, your grandmothers, your aunties have taught you if you're asking questions about something in your life, probably this huge decision. There's also talk of you working really hard into the late night hours. I saw you burning the midnight oil, so to speak, and my feeling with it is that that's okay. That's where you're supposed to be, but I thought it was suspicious that your work and money guide also said, make sure you're getting paid. Okay, so let's just make sure you're getting everything that you're deserving of getting if you're working that hard. On Monday the 6th, there is talk of potential promotion, and this has to do with your money, your work, or how you're spending your time within your life contract, your career. It is technically falling into a free will zone, but the opportunity for promotion is there. So you are going to have to take it, grab it, go after it. However, the fact that it's available says a lot. Tauruses, have a great week. Geminis, my fellow Geminis, what is going on with you for this week? On Monday the 29th, Tuesday the 30th, and Wednesday the 1st, we have a general theme going on here. And this has everything to do with you moving forward in a destiny charted way. What I mean by that is that The universe is supporting you. It should be pretty obvious what moves you should be making, what direction you're going in. It is not like free will decisions that can be really vague or clouded. So everything moving, in addition, at a fairly rapid speed on all 3 of those days. Now, on Monday the 29th, there's talk of your money increasing. And this technically does fall into a free will zone. So what that means is that it's up to you whether you take it or not. It's up to you whether you grab at those opportunities or not. It's up to you whether you're sort of, you may have to be almost like a vulture, just kind of watching and leaping. But I also feel that on that day, you're going to be doing a lot with detailing. So it's figuring out details, figuring out the how to and the when on making these changes in your life going forward. So it does appear that while it's up to you to do that, the pieces of the puzzle will also be shown to you on that day. On Tuesday the 30th, there's talk of nose to the grind, but it feeling good and you having a lot of peace with it. Now that's on Wednesday the 1st as well. So that speaks for itself. You're going to have to be doing a lot of hard work, almost to the point of it being furious. I see you not having time to talk to anyone else, or it's sort of like, don't talk to me. I'm concentrating on this. You tuning a lot out. But the sense of peace that you have tells me that you know that you are going in exactly the right direction, and you are. Thursday the 2nd, there's a lot of talk of you having to go backward a little bit. There's some type of baggage that you need to unload. This was originally skeletons in the closet, unfinished business, stuff swept under the carpet, but it has taken a turn on that day. And now it's going more into your past, which allows you to release it. There's no more processing of this issue. It is ready to go and be put down. Now, of course, you have to choose to put it down, but my feeling is that this baggage is long overdue. You've been dragging this around for far too long. I feel that for some of you, this could involve a past life influence that has been bogging you down. And for many of you, this has to do with an ex. How an ex is affecting your current family, your current love life, your current circumstances, or trauma, unresolved residual issues from an ex-lover. So however this affects you, know that any kind of baggage, dragging it along into the future, is never going to work. Take your lessons, convert it from negative to positive, and keep going forward. Saturday the 4th, there is talk of you being in a position of power and control in your life and feeling really, really good about that. I have a smiley face and I have you moving forward in a destiny charted direction. That's pretty much it for that. Sort of speaks for itself. Looks like a breakthrough to me. Sunday the 5th and Monday the 6th, we do again have a little bit of a theme on both of these days. Now on these days, there's talk of permanent change is now in place. And Spirit said specifically to you, now you know what direction you are going in. There could also be some change with your residency or your work. This feels long-term to me. Geminis, have a great week. What's fun? Huh?
You're doing a great job.
I'm trying. Heat stroke today. Okay. Cancers, my fellow Cancers, what is going on with you for this week? On Monday the 29th, there's talk of ancestors' wisdom and you having a lack of direction or feeling lost. Okay, Monday the 29th. So that's today, Cancers. Maybe you're feeling confused. Maybe you're feeling a little bit like you're not sure what direction you're supposed to go in because you're not sure what direction your circumstances are going in. How do you make a move when you don't even know what's going on? There is definitely a sense of cloudy thinking here, which can be clouding your emotions, but deep inside, I do get the sense that you sort of know your footing. You're kind of really centered and somewhat at peace. You know that everything's going to be okay. Hold on to that attitude and pay attention to the wisdom that your ancestors are sending to you in your dreams, through signs and symbols, and using others as the mouthpiece for God, including this message today. On Tuesday the 30th, there is talk of you needing to prepare for fall, to prepare for autumn. to prepare for the upcoming season. That's the next season, right? All right, so there's some sense of information coming to you, but also you looking at a calendar, looking at your finances, looking at whatever, your kids, your family, your spouse, looking at everything and saying, okay, where do I really need to be come autumn? Take that seriously and get it in order. Wednesday the 1st and Thursday the 2nd, we have a general theme on these 2 days, and it has to do with your heart. It has to do with love. It has to do with self-love, but it also has to do with a lover. Now, there is mention of the bed. The bed is going to symbolize sexual energy, sexual healing, but the bed also symbolizes your subconscious and creative energy. So there's going to be some kind of an expansion going on there with that theme. On Friday the 3rd, okay? Friday, July 3rd, there's talk of a helpful tidbit being overheard or being said directly to you from someone in a position of authority, all right? Keep your eyes and ears open, take that, put it in your pocket. It's something you're going to be able to use for your own prosperity coming up here soon. Saturday the 4th, Sunday the 5th, Monday the 6th, we have a general theme going on all 3 of those days that have to do with a movement forward in a destiny charted direction. And what that means is that you're moving out of a free will phase where you may have been feeling like you were free falling, you weren't sure exactly what direction to go in, and you are moving in a more rapid destiny charted way where things are pretty much explained and obvious to you about the right direction. This may be involving, for some of you, your house, your residency, or investment with your money. There's also talk here of, quote, from Spirit watching over you, you will have no more questions. Now you have your answers and you know how to proceed. And they want you to enjoy, and I thought this was kind of funny, stop brooding. So I don't know if you've been like pouting, or you've been feeling like you're tired and you're disgusted with circumstances, but it's sort of like, okay, now you have what you need, so stop whining and crying about it, okay? So they're going to be helping you with that. But if you don't take appreciation, sometimes we don't get all of the lovely blessings that we could because we have a sour attitude. Cancers, have a great week. Enjoy your breakthrough. Leos, what is going on with you this week, Leos? On Monday the 29th, there's talk of you helping someone else who is either immature or is childlike, is maybe quite literally your child or someone that you mentor over. I see you bringing healing to their heart. And I really am under the impression that this person or this group of people are really feeling a really hard hit in the self-esteem arena, and that it's taking a toll on their energy, possibly causing depression. I would hate to think of anyone approaching a mark of suicide. However, some of us have not seen hope in so long that we forget what it even is or what it might look or feel like. And you are restoring that to that person, or you are playing a part in restoring it. On Wednesday the 1st and Thursday the 2nd, we have a general theme going on these 2 days. But Wednesday the 1st is a little bit different in that it's about you being seen. You being seen, not necessarily by someone in a position of authority to give to you later, but you just being seen and heard in general and building up what would look to me like somewhat of a following or a client base or a ministry. On Thursday the 2nd, there's talk of a potential increase with your money, with your work, with your life purpose in your life contract, but technically it falls into a free will zone. What does that mean? That means that you have to go after it. You have to grab it. You have to take it. You have to watch and wait and pounce on it, okay? Friday the 3rd, let's talk of fireworks for you. And this felt to me like this has to do with a lover, or this has to do with your own self-love, coming to a place within yourself where you're like, I love who I am, or I love how I look, or I love what I'm doing. Okay, but it really felt for many of you, you will either be introduced to a new lover or your love partner and yourself are moving up a level, and that feels very exciting to me. Sunday the 5th, there's talk of a trip being planned. I don't know that you're going. Some of you may be, but for many of you, it's like you're figuring it out. You're booking it, okay? And it felt to me like that particular trip might just be fun. It might be to feed your soul. There is also, though, talk for some of you Leos about another kind of trip that has to do with travel for your work. And my feeling with that is that this could end up being a long-term type of obligation, and I feel really good about that. Okay, so we see you moving forward in a destiny charted way with that, which means the universe is just showing you when and how to go forward. On Monday the 6th, there's talk of your money or your work increasing, and falls into a free will zone yet again, so it's an opportunity, but you'll have to take it. And there's talk of it being, for many of you Leos, it's almost like you have a side hustle going on, or a hobby or a side project. You could also see some type of an increase there. This is also, again with you, some type of a longer term. Now, it is a long term, flat out. It was longer term transition here. And so this is going to require obligation. There's a question as to whether or not you want it. Okay, I heard, does he want it? Does she want it? It's up to your free will. I see you hemming and hawing over it. But I felt like, yes, you should take it. Okay, so Leos, have a great week. Good luck with all that. Virgos, what is going on with you this week? Monday the 29th. There's talk of promotion in your work. There's talk of people handing you things. We would say that this is, if we were looking at the planets, we would say maybe this is like a lottery aspect. And so I feel that through networking, people in positions of authority, clients that you might want, whatever it is, they may be handing you things that you could take advantage of. I feel really great about that. You have earned it. And some of these are real surprise elements. It's possibly something that you didn't see coming, and it's something that you wouldn't have even known to ask for. Okay, so that's pretty awesome. I also feel that you're going to have a lot of very intuitive dreams somewhere between Monday the 29th and Wednesday the 1st, where we're talking prophecy, and you're going to want to journal that out. Wednesday the 1st, there's talk of more promotion for you, but this has to do with work that's already been in place. And I think that what we're looking at here is almost like a twofold expansion on the work that you've been doing, the efforts that you've put in. What you've already built is going to be almost like becoming a franchise, or there will be a second part to it, or it will double in size, leveling up 2 more times. I feel great about that. Thursday the 2nd, there's talk of you finding yourself in a very powerful position, feeling good and at rest with that, moving forward in a destiny charted way where the universe is supporting you. But I also have something on your mind. It's almost like a looming question, or like a dark cloud. Like there's something that you want to resolve, and I would not be surprised if this involves your heart or a relationship of some kind. On Friday the 3rd, I also want to say this. If there are any Virgos out there who have been turning toward drinking or drug use, escapist tendencies, avoidant tendencies, you're going to want to really cut that out this week. On Friday the 3rd, there's talk of you backpedaling a little bit. Okay, so it's almost like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, I heard. And the progress that you were making on Thursday could, if you don't handle this properly, you could find yourself going in a backward direction, involving something like negative thinking or self-pity or overanalyzation, causing you to freeze up, halt, or procrastinate. Don't do it. Sunday the 5th, there's talk of you feeling as though you're on a Ferris wheel. Now, whenever I see Ferris wheel, I want to see it moving in a forward direction, like a time clock. I don't see this happening on this particular Ferris wheel. And I also have you not only going backward, but also having trouble getting off. Okay, so there's some situation that you need to get control of, whether this be your emotions, this be your mental state, this be a situation or a relationship that you find yourself in. You need to get control, and you need to get off that Ferris wheel. At this point, I feel like forget what direction it's going in, just get off, okay? Monday the 6th, there's talk of pennies from heaven. Now, pennies from heaven are always a way that our ancestors, our guides, and our angels are trying to communicate with us. So be watching for those coins. They don't have to literally be pennies, but it would be something in a coin state in that vein, okay? Now, there's also talk of that being potential promotion. So whenever you're finding pennies, or this is symbolically being given to you, there's talk of potential promotion, but not in a huge way. It's not like bills. It's not like gold coins. It's small, but it is significant nonetheless. And we would almost say that these are the stepping stones or the bricks that build the foundation to something that better or bigger. There's also talk from healers that there is healing coming into you. And I think that on that day, you really need to receive it, whether it be in your waking hours or through your sleep. Receive the healing that your ancestors, your guides, your angels, God, the universe is giving to you, and allow it to take you up to the next level for where you're going. Virgos, have a great week. Libras, what is going on with you for this week? On Monday the 29th, there's talk of, I don't know if these are your in-laws or if these are people that you would consider outsiders, if these are coworkers that you really don't want to associate with, if these are people in your social group or neighbors that you can't stand. There's just sort of a sense here of negative people who want to gossip and they want to pull you in. Now, what's interesting about this is that they want to pull you in by gossiping about you. So it's not like you're included. You're absolutely being excluded or ostracized. For some of you, maybe you're in a particular position to be included and step up and take a position of leadership and say, this isn't right, I'm not participating in this. And I do feel that for those of you who are in that position, you're going to want to understand that all eyes are on you. And while I may be talking about humans, I am also talking about the universe and God, and you are being watched. So watch your mouth and what energy it is that you're spreading. What do you say with every word that you choose? Okay. Are you being positive or negative? High or low? You will be reaping consequences to that. Okay, so good karma is what we want to see come back at you quickly. On Wednesday the 1st, let's talk about boundaries here. And I thought your reading this week is interesting, Libras, because that came up again on Monday the 6th. Boundaries again, setting boundaries with people. Now, I saw on Wednesday the 1st, you potentially having a lover. Possibly this is an ex, but this felt pretty current to me. Someone in your life who affects your heart in some way is trying to push you around or is trying to get control of a situation by being bossy, maybe bullying, maybe showing their anger to throw their weight around. Okay, swinging it, I say sometimes. We see the gentleman trying to pull this or the Karen activity. No. Okay, Spirit just said no. Capital N-O. Underlined with a period at the end of it. You're going to have to step up and say, I don't think so. All right. Thursday the 2nd, there's talk of clarity coming to you. And this to me felt like you're getting answers to some questions you've had for some of you, it's only been like months, maybe 8 months or so. But for some of you, it's actually been several years. Questioning what direction exactly you want your life to go in. And this could be affecting your residency, your career, a lot of things. Okay, so we have breakthroughs coming on that day. On Friday the 3rd, there's talk of someone either using a child or being childlike. So for those of you that are in a custody battle, those of you that are dealing with, you're trying to co-parent, with someone who's making it difficult, what do they call it, parallel parenting now or something, where you're basically maybe realizing this isn't going to happen, lateral parenting or something. They may be showing you officially on that day, or you're realizing it officially, that this isn't going to work. And you don't want children to be tied up in that kind of a battle. But there is also talk for some of you where this doesn't make sense. For those other people, there's talk of you coming at a situation in your life with a childlike innocence. So Spirit wants you to just sort of step back and make sure that you're coming from a place of love and innocence in making this move forward with this situation or in this relationship. On Sunday the 5th, it sort of comes up again. There's talk of you coming from a place of love versus hate. Now, we have a free mini class on this. Is it called Love versus Hate?
How to hate less and forgive more.
How to hate less and forgive more, but we have another one too that is about how to check your ego. Okay, remember that if you're coming from a place of ego, you're really coming from a place of fear. And even if someone is coming at you or a situation is coming at you and it's causing you to get your back up, you still ultimately, Mr. Rogers said this all the time, you still ultimately have self-control in that moment. And you can pull back and choose to come from a place of love and peace versus hate or ego and fear. Okay, and what Spirit said to you is, and you'll win. Okay, you will be winning that situation if you can do this, but it's going to require that you're very disciplined. On Monday the 6th, again, that talk of boundary setting with someone else or a situation. There's also talk of you needing to watch your tongue, pick your battles, know when to speak and when not to bother, because in a situation or with someone you're dealing with, there may be no use. Libras, have a great week. Scorpios, what is going on with you for this week? On Monday the 29th, on Monday the 29th, Spirit just wrote think, capital T, capital H, capital I, capital, okay, you gotta think, okay, you just need to think. My feeling with this is that you may want to be very mindful about what you say and the moves that you make. They also wrote here, no back talk. And what that can mean is that it's not smart for you to retaliate verbally on that day, or that you're going to want to be wise about how you do it. My feeling with this too was that you may not want to present yourself as someone who talks out of both sides of your mouth, that is two-faced or that is double-minded, okay? And I think that's going to really require that you slow down, because situations that are presenting an opportunity for that kind of failure are going to come hard and fast. On Tuesday the 30th, Wednesday the 1st, and Thursday the 2nd, we do sort of a general theme going on these 3 days. There's talk in particular on Tuesday the 30th about you not double talking, or you could find that you get busted in some kind of, I don't know if I want to say that it's a lie per se, but somehow you're presenting yourself multiple ways. And if in fact you do make that error, you're going to need to clear that up. The nice thing about this situation is that someone in a position of authority or someone you care about will be willing to work with you on that, as long as you can make it very clear. That's not what I meant. This is really how I feel, or this is what I mean, and this is how I'm going to proceed going forward. Okay? Don't let that issue linger, and just don't get yourself there in the first place. Wednesday the 1st, there's talk of a promotion coming to you and eyes being on you, and you needing to keep your nose to the grind in order for that breakthrough to come up here soon. I do feel 1 to 2 with that. We could be talking as soon as 1 to 2 days. But for many of you, it's also going to be like a sort of consistent growth that takes about 1 to 2 months. Thursday the 2nd, there's talk of another job offer coming to you, or another outlet for you to expand yourself or grow, possibly even a lover or a social situation. Something that to you might feel like a promotion, or a situation wants you. My feeling here is that you're being tested, or you're questioning your loyalty. Should I stay where I am, or should I go over to this other opportunity? I feel you being a little bit confused. Spirit in general was making me feel like, no, don't take it. But I do feel that for some of you, it may have growth opportunities in it. Even if you weren't to take it, how did it help you to expand your mind and who you are? Friday the 3rd, we're looking at love. We are looking at love in such a way where I'm talking about romance, but I'm also potentially talking about anyone in your heart who affects you in such a way that it helps to uplift and grow your direction in life, spiritual development, self-development. This lover, okay, or person coming into your life that brings this love is a soulmate connection or has a karmic contract with you. And when we hear karma, sometimes we think, uh-oh, I don't need any more trouble. But it's not that kind of karma. It's a karmic lesson that could be learned if you go with the flow in a very lovely manner. So when we're talking about soulmate connection, karmic contracts, we're talking about growth and lessons. And I feel that this is a very powerful encounter. Saturday the 4th, there's talk of healing coming to you, self-care, love, animals coming up to you. Okay, they also give that type of healing. Watch for that and what they're telling you. On Sunday the 5th and Monday the 6th, we have a general theme going on here on both of these days having to do with new living for you. New lifestyle, new living circumstances, residency, a new job, any kind of new lifestyle. There's also talk on Monday the 6th of the sun coming out. And Spirit said, you did it. Okay, you did it. You accomplished where you wanted to be, and now you will have no more questions. Pat yourself on the back. Scorpios, have a great week. Sagittarius, what is going on with you for this week? On Monday the 29th, there's talk of wisdom from the women in your life. We would say the feminine, divine wisdom, things like this. So living or deceased, your ancestors or those in your social circle now, you're going to want to pay close attention to what the women in your life are saying or have said in the past to give you direction on a situation that you're analyzing. However, these ladies also said she won't be shouting. Okay, so this is all about that still small voice. We did a free mini class here on YouTube on that. You may want to go back and watch. This is about how the universe gives you direction in very subtle ways, and you need to learn how to tune into that and turn off all the noise sometimes. On Tuesday the 30th, there's talk of a love affair or somebody that you love, someone in your heart. You need to take care of that relationship or that person. There's also talk of self-care on that day. Then they were talking about not escaping. So you may have avoidant tendencies on that day. Watch out for drinking, drug use, excessive TV, excessive use of social media, video game playing, overeating, I don't know, watching too much porn. I don't know what you do. Okay, whatever it is. Whatever it is that you're doing, too many cookies. I mean, if you find that you are like compulsively turning towards something to avoid your brain, you need to stop and process what's really going on in there. It will be affecting you over here to the future soon. There's talk of potential increase on that day of your money, job opportunities, career opportunities, and luck. And your spirit guides are saying use it wisely. Wednesday the 1st, there's talk of little gifts, little signs, symbols. This could be anything from little stones being left on your path to numerology to prophetic dreaming. Coming to you from your ancestors, your guides, God, trying to help you to not feel so lost in a situation that is making you confused or heavy or sad. On Thursday the 2nd, there's talk of your grandmamas, your mothers, your aunties, maternal energy, living or deceased, feminine elders, coming to you, giving you direction, but also helping you to understand that you are at a breakthrough point, and they're giving you the rainbow. You may literally be seeing rainbows or prisms, but that is also my symbol for pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, rainbow after the storm, hopes and dreams coming true. It is also a bridge from an old way of life to a new way of life. Okay, so congratulations on that. Friday the 3rd and Saturday the 4th, there is talk of slow but sure, you are coming into your power and you are moving forward in a destiny charted way. They want you to breathe. They want you to dry your tears, and they want you to realize that you are exhausted from your journey and you should take a big old nap. On Monday the 6th, there is talk of you fishing. Now that is symbolic, unless you literally fish, that is symbolic of you being able to provide for yourself in a better way than you have been in a long time. And fish are symbolic of prosperity. So enjoy it. Sagittariuses, Have a great week. Capricorns, what is going on with you for this week? On Monday the 29th, there is talk of you speaking and communicating, you leading and guiding, and you receiving a promotion here soon. But it isn't from the humans. It is coming from God, and you are being watched by the universe, your angels, your guides, your ancestors. Okay, everyone's sort of keeping an eye on you, and it's almost like this paperwork gets up to God level, and then, okay, he's going to get the promotion, she's going to get the promotion, in life in general. And so be mindful about the things that you're saying on that day and the leadership that you're giving. It is important. On Tuesday the 30th and Wednesday the 1st, we have a general theme going on here that kind of leaks over into Thursday as well. And this is about no gossip. This is about taking a type A leadership position and being in charge over others that want to create a toxic environment of triangulation and ostracizing, stirring the shit pot, so to speak. Okay, I can't tell if this is your family, your friends, your coworkers. It's going to depend. This is a mass message. There also seems to be some people in your inner circle, possibly 2 to 3 females, that would be sort of a ringleading this thing up. And I think that you're going to have to take on that power position in setting a good example or excusing yourself from it entirely. That would be wise. On Thursday the 2nd and Friday the 3rd, and this trickles into Saturday the 4th, there's a general theme on these 3 days that you want something different. And Spirit said, quote, you want more purpose to your life, and you want more company that supports that purpose and a higher vibration. So it looks to me like you're really analyzing a lot of things right now. There was talk of you wanting a change in your work or your career, possibly your social environment or your family environment, your love life, basically everything. Just wanting more and wanting to really figure out what you came to Earth to do. I would recommend booking a life contract reading with me if you're not figuring this out by the end of the week. But there is talk on Saturday the 4th of this new direction being shown to you. So what that can mean is that because you're sort of asking the universe what you should do, you're tapping into your higher mind and you're feeding that process, all of a sudden the direction starts to come. And you may also find yourself in a new social setting or with new networking opportunities coming to you as well. All right. Sunday the 5th, there's talk of you being taken away. And there's some type of change coming into your life that is sort of removing you from not necessarily who you used to be, but definitely who you are in your family, who you are at your job, who you are in your relationship. You know, you've always been the same. You're very dependable, you're very reliable, and now you're not going to be available for that anymore. And I think that it's going to require that you be mindful about how you're going to handle that going forward so that you're comfortable, whether they're comfortable or not. I don't really think it matters, but that might be polite to do. It's going to also affect your scheduling. So for those of you that are parents, or you're married, you know, you have to look at your family, you take care of your elderly parents. How exactly is this change going to affect your scheduling? Monday the 6th, there's talk of you spending and going to the mall. And then I saw you laughing really awkwardly, like, oh, I'm enjoying this. No, I'm not. So you may be coming into a place where you realize that what you used to enjoy, you no longer enjoy, and that maybe you don't want to be wasteful or overspend. It's also possible that you need to examine where you belong. Okay, things are definitely changing for you, Capricorns. Have a great week. I love that for them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You seem to have a good couple weeks, past few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Aquariuses, what is going on with you this week? On Monday the 29th and Tuesday the 30th, there's talk of you having to push and take leadership. There is some swirly activity going on, okay? There is some two-faced, mouth, lip service being given with someone in a position of authority or someone who wants to be in a position of authority. Possibly this individual is at your job or is in your social circle, and they're in a high enough position that they could cause for things to negatively affect you and maybe others. But it would come in such a way where they say one thing and then do another. This would remind me of a predicament where maybe you were promised a promotion, or you're the next one up for it, or there was talk of a pay raise, or there was talk of things structurally looking one way, and now all of a sudden it's not going to look that way, okay? And my feeling here is that you need to push for what you rightfully deserve. You need to push for what was said, and you need to push past any nonsense to make sure that you've taken on as much leadership as you can, that you haven't left any stones unturned, and that if, in fact, this is going to go in a downhill type of direction, you jump ship and don't go down with it. I don't know that it's going to come to that, but regardless, you might feel disgusted and choose to move on. We don't always have to wait for a house to fall on us. Sometimes little scenes like this are enough to let you know that the universe is pushing you forward, okay? Thursday the 2nd, there is talk of you spending time with loved ones. And I felt a lot of talk from the female ancestors this week. My goodness. So grandmothers, mothers, aunts, friends, okay, any females living or deceased, your little dog. I mean, it could be anyone that brings a lot of feminine or healing energy. It could be males in your life who are very tapped into that feminine side, okay, intuitive and healing. And I feel them being with you, you know, coming and offering you support and direction, helping you to stay centered, rooted, grounded, and unstressed. Okay, on Friday the 3rd, there is a lot of talk of music going on with you. Now, when songs start to play in my head, I first blame Paul. And I assume he's marching around singing some tune from the 80s that is now stuck or something. But sometimes when there are songs stuck in your head, it's because the lyrics are calling you to examine how that song pertains to your life, or what the healing message is, what the solution is. Could be coming from your loved ones, your ancestors, but it could also be your higher mind or God working with you to get you up to the next level. Pay attention to the songs that come on the radio. Pay attention to the what I call nursery rhymes that might start going through your head, or other songs that are playing. What are other people singing around you? It counts that day. Saturday the 4th and Sunday the 5th, we have a general theme on both of these days that has to do with you being in a new leadership role. I feel that this involves your work and money, but I also feel that this could be affecting your love life in some way, or those that are important in your heart. And there is a question here of, quite possibly due to your new leadership role, the realizations and the growth that you've recently had, there's a question of, should I leave? So you're going to have to decide whether or not it's time for you to do that. But I feel good about all of that. On Monday the 6th, there's talk of you moving in a free will direction in your power. Now, what does that mean? It means that it's up to you whether you take it or not. It is not the kind of thing that falls into your lap in a destiny charted kind of a way. It's the kind of thing you have to watch over, you have to leap on, you have to take it, you have to go get it. Keep your eyes and ears open. But I do feel that it's something you're aware of. It's possibly even something that's been brewing for a while, or it's something you've wanted for a while. And I do feel an overwhelming yes that you should go ahead and do it. Somehow, though, this creates a conflict for you. And you may be saying, well, I can't have both. Well, I can't move forward and stay still at the same time. I almost wonder if you could. Okay, so don't rule anything out just yet. Aquariuses, have a great week. Pisces, what is going on with you for this week? Okay, Pisces, Monday the 29th, that is today, we have talk of you moving forward in a destiny charted direction, which means that it is fairly obvious what you should be doing and what the universe is telling you to do. You are fulfilling an aspect of your life contract, meaning the agreements that you signed on to before you came to Earth, and it is putting you in a power position. This is also affecting you with others, okay? And it is putting you in a position where you have to lead, whether you're taking on a matriarchal, patriarchal leadership role at your job, taking on a project at school, and whatever it is, you are going to find that you have to lead. You don't want this, but it is on you to do it. Tuesday the 30th, I am under the impression that you're focusing a lot on your health, on your sexual health and well-being, on your mental and emotional health and well-being. I see you buying a lot of really healthy food. For those of you that are gardening, you may also be, I don't know, harvesting, okay, your fruits, your vegetables that day. I see you bringing bags of groceries that are full of vegetables and fruits or things from a garden in. Now, this is literal for some of you, but it's also symbolic of how you feed your body. We want to think of food as being medicine, okay? The old school way of thinking was that everything we put in was medicinal somehow or could help us. It was supposed to be advantageous, not destructive. So you're going to be looking at that aspect of your life and healing yourself. And I feel great about that. And that's going to be like a long-term transition or lifestyle change for you. Wednesday the 1st, for those of you who've also been struggling with weight loss, and not knowing why, I think you're going to have a breakthrough on that day where maybe the plateau breaks, something like this. Wednesday the 1st, there is talk of 3 different potential options for your work and money growth. Projects that you work on, your side hustle, whatever it is. Now, this does affect your prosperity, and while that's great opportunity for you, it may also feel a little bit like you're juggling too many things. 3 is a lot. I do feel that you're supposed to be really keeping them all, or if you were to promote one other one may have to fall to the wayside, but you're doing it in such a balanced way where you're reaping benefits from all 3. So be smart and do ask your work and money guide how they can help you to understand the particulars on this transition. Thursday the 2nd, there's talk of the chest, the lungs, and check on your elders. Now, this is being recorded, at the time of the pandemic. And unfortunately, we are looking at hard hits to that particular area of the body. I am not here to prescribe or diagnose, nor am I saying you or someone in your circle is going to contract it. However, anything going on with this area should be something that you discuss with a medical professional. And the fact that they said do check on your elders or others in your circle might put you in, yet again, Pisces, a position of responsibility to caretake over others on that day. Friday the 3rd, Saturday the 4th, we do have a general theme going on these days. And there is a sense of you becoming more of a, it's almost like a caretaker with a person or a group of people. And it is going to put you in a long-term position to have to maintain this. So you are going to want to be mindful about how you approach it, okay? And no escapism on that day. Sunday the 5th, there's talk of you redirecting your life plans. And while this could be stressful, I also feel that it's pretty exciting. I think that there are some things that you've been wanting to do for quite a while. So whether this be with your residency, this be with your atmosphere in general, especially with your work or how you socialize, what you're doing with the spouse, I feel you redirecting your life plans and doing it in such a way that you feel you're not overwhelmed, that you are in the driver's seat. That is key. On Monday the 6th, there is talk of a lot of cleansing going on with you. So whether you need to get away and go earthing, walking in the dirt, hug a tree, be out in nature, nature is your church, go down to the water or put Epsom salt in the bottom of your shower, allow for a cleansing process from some emotional and mental stress that you've been taking on for a while now. All in all, Pisces, this is a really great week for you, even if some people around you are having a little bit of difficulty. So do try to enjoy it. Those are your weekly horoscopes, folks. We are going to get into your questions next. So if you haven't already posted a question, go ahead and do so now. Paul will be taking them. He does appreciate that you include names if he hasn't already told you that. And I do want to ask again that you please do support the YouTube channel by sharing your weekly horoscopes. I believe they'll go up tomorrow and be divided out like I do every week, or please share this show because we are supporting and pulling our funding from Facebook and Instagram for the Stop Hate for Profit campaign. Okay, so hoping we see some change with them. But if they don't change by the end of July, we will not be returning. We will be really exclusively here on YouTube. So please do share. Okay. Holly, you ready?
Yeah, you did awesome.
Thank you.
And you were Pisces, I believe, talking about food as medicine.
Yes.
Heather, who was a Pisces, said currently she's reading a book about food as medicine.
Oh, get out of here.
And that she said you're always right, even in your horoscope.
Oh my goodness, that's so interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we should all really think that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. How are you, Paul?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Pretty
Did very
good,
awesome
pretty good.
on those
Thank you.
horoscopes.
Thank you. It's not as hot in here, so this will be a little bit better.
That fan is nice.
Yes, it is.
Pointing at all the right places. Those fans. Okay.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. This is one from I'm the Depressed Person, who asks, can you read what I can do to make my best friend happy? And her best friend's name is Serenity.
Lots of intriguing words in that. I feel you. All right, Serenity. What can we do to make Serenity happy? Serenity has to start taking more ownership of her life, her choices. What I'm hearing from her guides and her ancestors is that she has a way of sort of going one step forward, two steps back, escaping, or not having proper follow through in the way that it's almost like she has it and she starts to realize that she's seeing the results that she wants with her life. And then all of a sudden, it's almost like that light goes out. Okay, and that isn't something that you can replace. That's not something that you can do for someone else. So as far as you're concerned, I guess it would be in directing her there to realize that she does have some sort of quitting habits that really require her to be more preventative. It's sort of like this is a pattern and this is a cycle, and you really can estimate when you're going to go back down, you know? So we all kind of have a way of going up, and then we go back down, then we go back up, we go back down. I would also recommend to her the Fighting the Dark free mini class here on YouTube. That can help her to understand darker attacks and preparation to avoid those. Yes. And I keep saying watermelon. I don't know if she likes watermelon or if this is you, but watermelon can sometimes represent like fresh fruits, you know, happiness, summertime, things like that. So I feel like simple things like healthy, fun food, you know, or just getting together and being like, I don't know, just sort of saying nothing and eating these watermelons and spitting out the seeds and like sitting there like, you know, I picture a dog in the sun, just like enjoying simplicity. That helps a lot too.
Watermelon is delicious.
We're going to have to get some of this now.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed until I have it.
I saw a picture. It was a watermelon, and they roasted a chicken inside it.
Ew.
We won't do that, though.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
All right.
We have one from Lizelle.
Okay.
Said, I went to see a psychic in January, and she told me that I'm a healer. Is it Reiki?
Well, it could be. When you have healing ability, it doesn't have to go in one direction. It's not like one thing. We have people who come to Earth with a life contract. I was talking earlier about getting life contract readings with me where I can look and see what you signed on to before you came to Earth, what your purpose is for being here. And those that have light working contracts have what I would call a healing contract. Healing contract is going to mean that you're going to find yourself pulled into more traditional mainstream jobs that involve like management, communication with others, possibly the medical field, counseling, all kinds of things, helping. But when we look at it in terms of energy work, we're talking about options in psychic mediumship work. You could say Reiki, you could say psychic surgery, medical intuitive. One of the things that I do feel is influencing you in your healing practice is a past life where you would have taken on sort of a gypsy kind of a lifestyle. And during that time, what may have happened is that you went places and then sort of did your work and then packed up and went on to something else, sort of like you disappeared, And so one of the things that's going to be important for you in your healing work is that you're mobile. That could be online, that could be at fairs, that could be going to people's houses, whatever it is. But I feel that it's going to be important for you to sort of go, reach the people, set up shop, pack up, move on to the next scene, and keep it moving, keep it fresh. Could you do Reiki? Absolutely. That's a potential outlet for you. Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We have one from Shalon Lucas.
Okay.
Are there any messages from my grandmother, Dolly?
She wants you to work hard, keep your nose to the grind, but mind your own business and don't let other people negatively affect you, because she said you got some people around you right now who are trying to trip you up. They're trying to trip you up, not necessarily a vindictive way. They're doing it because they're selfish. They're doing it because they only care about them. And they have a narcissistic, sociopathic type of a tendency. And when you get moochers who want to come around and be like vampires, just sort of latch onto you to get your time, your attention, your love, favors, whatever it is, you run the risk of not being able to focus, not having enough self-care. She doesn't want you to be robbed. It's almost like someone's trying to drill a hole in your boat and it's becoming like a leaky boat. And whether I'm talking about one individual or several, I think it's really important that you be on guard a little bit more. I also feel like it's important that you do this in your love life. Okay, so she just wants you to just take care of you. Yeah, she loves you very much.
Okay. Depressed person said thank you. Lizelle said thank you.
Welcome.
And Charisse D, thank you for the horoscope. And she also is looking for a message from her mother, Thomasina.
She's funny. I also feel that she had sort of a humble way about her sometimes, where she could kind of, I almost feel like pull back, like there's a sensitive side, and she could just sort of pull back and have a lot going on there and maybe not always share that. So there may have been a side to her that everyone wasn't really aware of. But she feels funny to me, and she feels like she wants to share with you happiness, joy, jokes. She's been using things like ranging from anything like fortune cookies to posts on social media, to songs. She's trying to let you know that she's around, to be uplifting. She is visiting you in dreams. She says that you have very vivid dreams. You have something called prophetic dreaming, so that you're able to have visions about the future, but you also do something called astral travel. So she is meeting up with you, spending real time. She's also talking about a gentleman who I feel was, she watched over or is watching over her. I feel a gentleman, older, that she's with, and she makes me feel like happiness, okay? Happy that everybody over there is together. She said that you've been a little worried about things coming up or where things are going exactly. I feel like you want to have all the answers, and it's like you don't just yet, but you will hear soon, and you could dot your I's and cross your T's and understand more of the direction that things are going in, okay? For right now, she just pulled a daisy and handed you a daisy, and that is symbolic of joy and happiness. Okay? She loves you very much. And there's a mail you're worried about. Don't worry about the mail. Everyone has their own responsibility. Everyone is on their own path. Everyone has to reap the consequences of their choices and actions. It's sort of like a let this person fall on their face. Okay?
Shalon says thank you.
You're welcome.
We have one from Myra Sanchez, Mayia.
Okay.
And you'll have to forgive my Portuguese on this, but she says, is my soap business going to flourish? And the business is Sabão de Bruxa.
Sabão de Bruxa.
Soap of the witch, or witch's soap, I think, something.
Okay. I actually feel it doing really well online, and I see a brown soap. So I don't know if it's brown with black stuff in it, like dots or speckles or chunks of something else, but it smells almost like a myrrh or like a cinnamon, or I am possibly looking at a couple different kinds. There is something that you created that is like one or two separate bars that explode. And with that, we're looking more at online sales. And it's very possible that you could get them into shops as well. So whether you have other people with online sales and you're getting them into their online shops, you're getting them into literal shops where people can organically go, shop around. I feel these two particular products doing really well. There may also be something green that smells like a eucalyptus or a spearmint or something like this. And you may be doing something else with like a rose water. I think that when you focus on cleansing, which is funny, right? Because it's soap. But like a soap that helps with cleansing out negative energy, that could also be profitable. So there's sort of like a ranking here of what your best sellers are. And I think at some point you're going to want to wipe everything else off the table and be like, just get rid of everything else and just focus on what's doing well. Yes, I do see you doing pretty well with it. While it's small, it is mighty. And it will eventually, probably in about 1.5 to 1 year and 8 to 9 months, lead into other potential sales that will go along nicely with it. You might even want to look at something like handmade journals. A lot of times people don't think of writing as being a cleansing process, but channeling, automatic writing, journaling, it could almost be like a combo sale. And you may at some point even want to put them in like baskets or sell them together as items. Like obviously items. That's not what I meant to say. Almost like combo, combo packages. And I saw a cream, and so there could also be like, you cleanse with this, you put this cream on, you can smell it, and you can write at the same time. Simple tools that mean a lot. Yes.
Very awesome. Charisse sent you a smoochy smiley and one of the little halo dealies.
Oh, mwah, thank you.
Got my eye on you. Okay. Well, you were talking about writing, so it's a good segue here. Melissa Crane.
Okay.
So she's wondering if there's anything she should know regarding the book she's publishing, and the book is called The House.
Wondering if you change that. I'm wondering if you change that or you change the subtitle. There's like a word that gets taken out and replaced with something else to, it's almost like I'm trying to maximize what I'm trying to say here, and there might be a better way of saying it, more efficient. And what should she do about it? What was the question?
Is anything she should know regarding the book she's publishing?
Anything you should know?
Yeah.
Well, let me just look over here to the future and see what your work and money guide has to say about it. Your joy guide is actually stepping in front of your work and money guide, talking about how this book is helping you with spiritual development and self-development. So I actually feel like there's a lot in this book. I don't know if this is a personal story at all, but it's almost like a biography in some ways. And it's like telling stories about how to overcome, or level up. And I feel really good about that. Healing measures that can be taken for people to have greater prosperity, health and wellness. And so it's really good. It's good for you. I feel that because it's coming from the heart or from a place of sincerity, and because you know what you're talking about, your work and money guide says that that's going to be sort of the base that we want to sell to other people, that demographic, and I think that you might be looking at a combination of like self-publishing and another publisher. And I don't know, because it's going to come down to free will, exactly what you're going to choose, but I do feel multiple outlets for your publishing. and an online presence. I guess I'm looking at like an Amazon.com or like a BarnesandNoble.com, like an online. The most significant market, the most significant sales will come from those. Is there anything else you need to know? I feel like I'm looking at the end. I'm looking at the last chapter. So I'm either looking at the index or I'm looking at the last chapter. And I'm wondering if something there could be modified, or that's like a sort of an explosion effect, you know, like fireworks effect on that. And yeah, make sure it is.
Exploding books, exploding soap. It's quite a week.
I
Myra
need some
said
of
thank you
You're welcome.
for that message. And she did say yes when you were talking about the exploding soap.
Oh,
So
good.
like a bath ball sort of thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know. That's what I was talking about.
That's not what I meant,
Oh.
but that's fine too. We can have double meetings, but I meant your sales.
Oh. Yes. All right. We have Colleen Kosiba.
Okay.
Would like to know if you have any messages from her mom who passed away, and the mom's name is Gloria.
Gloria. I'm actually hearing from a Mary or a Maria or something like that. Somebody else coming in here with her. So she's not alone. Somebody giving you a red rose also, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time. Okay. When I go over here with your mom, she's talking about a necklace handed down to you. That can mean that she was cremated, but I thought she literally meant, you know, there was a necklace handed down to you. She's talking about your prosperity. She's helping you with your prosperity right now. And I don't know if you've been working really hard or feeling like you're working yourself to the bone or feeling like you're working too long or you're not getting out of it what you should be, you know, not having almost like enough in the bank or too many years at it without moving up to where you want. You know, she's helping you with that. And she says that your home is your haven. And I feel you doing more with that, whether it be like outside or gardening or just enjoying the atmosphere. But she wants your home to be your haven. And sometimes I feel like you need more personal space away from everything and everyone. And she says that when she talks to you, she is whispering in the ear. That can mean that you have something called clairaudient ability and that she is ringing your ears. So pay attention to tinnitus, an annoying ringing or a feeling of pressure in the ears. That is her trying to communicate with you. And she's showing me the boy. Okay, the boy. So either your child or a son, okay, of hers. There's talk of the boy and also giving out love there because he seems confused or maybe like negative thinking, not listening enough and stubborn. Okay, but she loves you very much. And she's talking about how beautiful you are. Like naturally beautiful. Naturally beautiful. Okay.
Very lovely. Melissa Crane said thank you, and a slew of explosion emojis and these things. And,
beautiful. You're welcome. Good luck.
So you're getting a lot of good emojis tonight. You're really nailing it. Getting the creative element. Joe Johnson says, I can't tell the vibe I'm getting from my landlord, Garrett. Any messages?
I can't tell either. There's always a reason for that. I don't think Garrett knows what he's doing. Okay, so normally when someone confuses me and I feel like, they're a tough read, it's because they don't even know who they are, they don't know what they're thinking, or they are back and forth, or sometimes it's almost like they get caught up in a free will element, and so there is no destiny charted information there to work with, and that's all we can ever go by. And so it's kind of like, you know, he is in debate. He is in debate, and he is a slow mover. This is not a mover and a shaker. This is someone who, at least on this decision, there's sort of like a debate on whether or not I'm keeping the property, I'm selling the property, I'm getting another property, am I keeping everything where it is right now? You know, am I moving people around? COVID may be playing a lot of factor into this, and something about the mortgage payments. There's a question about, here's where his head is. Is it worth it? Okay, is it worth it? What is going to be the least amount of trouble? And I think that if we were to, I could almost put money on this and give you a guarantee, even though technically it's not destiny charted yet. I would say that he is going to do what is going to be easiest for him, the least complicated.
All right. We have one from Yvette Blitzer. Any messages from my father, Anthony?
Okay, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. I don't think I'm not there.
After this. Yvette wants to speak to her dad, Anthony.
Yes.
He is a big energy, but he is soft-spoken in some ways. And when he comes through here, I feel very compelled to listen to what he has to say. I feel like he knows his stuff, and I feel like he was a non-arrogant, non-egotistical leader when he needed to be, and didn't want to cause any trouble for anybody, but would definitely, I mean, I wouldn't cross the line with him, but, just not stirring the pot. And he watches over you and wants to step in and let you know that, he said, I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't gone anywhere, and I want you to know that I'm doing well, and I want you to focus more on you than you are on circumstances or other people or what else needs to be done. That you're in a unique position in your life right now where you could pull back a little bit and just kind of enjoy the ride. And you put in a lot of hard work. You put in a lot of effort. Now it's time to reap the benefits. He says there's a season for everything, and you have to know when to push, and you have to know when to ride the waves. And this is a time to ride the waves. You're in a 2-year period of being able to ride the waves. And he said that your prosperity will be in direct, what's the word I'm looking for? Direct relation to proportion. Thank you. To how well you could do that. So it's interesting that it's sort of like by doing less, you're doing more. Okay. But he is a firm believer in that this is a time for you to slow down and kind of put your feet up and allow for things to come. Okay. And if you've been looking for answers for things, allow for them to come. Sometimes there is nothing more for you to do. It's sort of like the serenity prayer, let it go. And he is talking about, I do also see a tattoo. So I don't know that you have that or somebody else has that. Like up here, I thought I saw a male with a tattoo of either his name, something like this. And there's talk of you almost having like some type of a bracelet that I feel he's trying to give you. And it's almost like a charms on it, something uplifting. And he makes me feel that there's possibly a male in your life. Who am I talking to? Yvette? There's possibly a male in your life that you give too much to. Sometimes by over speaking or over reminding or over helping, you're kind of enabling and you're draining your own self. Make sure people around you are stepping up and doing what they need to do. It's time for you to start getting back. And don't be afraid to let people do that. They are who they are. It is what it is. Okay? That's it. But best to have the truth. He loves you very much. And then he's quiet again. Okay?
Colleen said thank you so much, and her mom gave her a locket when she turned 16, and she did just launch a corporation.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And Yvette said thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, very good stuff.
How exciting.
A lot of change.
Yeah, a lot of change.
And this is a very creative night, too. We have Linda wrote in to say that she's currently writing her first book. Okay. And she's wondering if she will become a successful author.
Does Linda have a last name?
She does not.
Okay. So Linda is writing her first book and she did not give the title?
She's working on it now. One of the current working titles is Freeing Myself.
Freeing Myself. Okay. And she just wants to know where this might go?
If she'll become a successful author.
Okay. I feel that you will if you finish it. And I feel that as it gets toward the end, that becomes especially difficult for you. I'm going to recommend 2 free classes on here, okay? One is called Fighting the Dark, and the other one is called Your Fear of Leveling Up. Now, these aren't necessarily going to be a huge issue right now, but as you get toward the middle or the end of this project, you're going to need this information. Why wait? I think that there are 3 separate pieces to this book, or you're working on 3 separate pieces that could be combined into one project. And I think that the most important part of this project is you talking a lot about how you relate to others and how you have at some point in your life decided to choose yourself over other people, and how you have decided to choose self-love and self-care over martyrdom or victimization. Okay, and that is sort of your selling point. Okay, again, the explosion factor that everyone seems to have with their businesses or their books tonight, or their soap, I mean, whatever. It's like there's always going to be one thing that picks up and people tap into it and they're like, that's where I am right now. And that's where the people will be when you get it out there. Okay, they're going to be in a position where they have to choose, or they just chose themselves over giving to others. Yeah, I feel good about it. You have to have that follow through. You also have a lady here who's would have let her hair go quite gray. I don't feel that she tried to color it much. And she says, make lemonade out of lemons. Make lemonade out of lemons. She's adding a lot of sugar, though. Okay. I feel like it's a lot of sugar. She did not worry about such things. I would not be shocked if there was a diabetic issue at some point with her. And she is funny, but she has a way of like, I don't care. I'm going to live on my terms. And I do feel with her that you're taking a lot of circumstances that were, toxic, and you are converting them into something great. Very proud of you.
That's great. We have one from Terry, who asks, will I meet the man for me, or have I already met him?
Terry with a Y?
With an I.
Terry with an I. One R?
2 I.
Okay, 2 R's and an I. Terry with an I. Have I met the man supposed to be with? No, but you did have an interesting one there. You definitely had one where I'm seeing past life soulmate, some life contract work. It looks like some karmic lessons too. So there was somebody that you were dealing with for a while there. I feel 15, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That could be a lot longer than that, but I'm talking about the last 15 years where it seems to me like that could also break down to 5 if we remove the 1, but it felt like 15, where we're looking at a progression, but it doesn't sort of move forward in a long-term type of a commitment. It's just this back and forth. Nonetheless, these things do tend to have some very serious dynamics to them that are impactful and powerful and meaningful. I do feel that there's actually someone else, and my sense with this person is that you've been sort of digging deep lately. According to your relationship guide and your joy guide, you've been digging deep. And this isn't just about who you are in relationship to others. This is about who you are in relationship to yourself and some spiritual development. And I feel that through that, you've eliminated some lessons and you're approaching a mark where you're wrapping up a past life that would have sort of negatively affected you this whole life, where you would have been overburdened by other people and toxic situations, possibly as far back as your childhood. And it could have caused some confusion in the way that you relate to potential love partners. And it may have caused for you to put yourself a level below. And you're clearing all that up right now. So within the next 2 years, I feel you really expanding. And there's really nothing for you to do right now but wait for that person to come. I'm going to recommend a class to you called Reaching the One. It's up on the website. And in that class, we talk about how to clear out old energy, attract the right person to us, because you have multiple soulmate options, but only really one of them is going to work great in the day-to-day, and how you can attract that person to you faster. Okay, so I would also go through the exercises in that class to speed this up a bit, but yes, it looks good, and no, you haven't. I could see how you would be confused about that, though.
Linda, with the book, said, you are incredible. I love you, and thank you for the reading. It was perfect and spot on, and gave you this one.
Awesome. Love you too. Thank you.
I love you more.
Good. I like hearing that.
All right, we have one from Lucy.
Okay.
It says she needs an attorney for divorce that her pill-addicted husband has filed. She's between two. One is a female familiar with his narcissistic personality disorder, and the other is an older male. Which should she choose?
The female. Next question.
Terry said, "Thank you."
You're welcome.
This one is from Heather. Said she would love to hear from her Aunt Patty, and does she have any insights into her current path of healing?
Patty, and does she have any insight? She said keep on it. I wish I had done more of this for myself. You're very smart. You have a way of being, she said you're very insightful, but you're very, I'm hearing innovative, but I was going to say, not assertive. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word when you go after things? Starts with an I. You're very willing to do what you need to do for you. Okay, and you have a drive to continue on that journey, and she's proud of you for this. She may have gone a little back and forth in her life, and I also don't feel that she had access to as much as you do. I would not be surprised if you're looking at things now or into the future a little ways, like I smell oils, okay, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. I guess I would say like maybe aromatherapy or things like that, but homeopathy almost, but I feel you talking also. So this could be therapeutic. This could be you talking to a therapist. This could be you getting out everything that you need to get out. You are, and she said she loves listening to you. She loves listening to you laugh. So you're also funny and you put a great spin on things. And you're, insightful. I feel like you can look at other people and situations and pick out the humor when everyone else is overlooking it. She gets a kick out of you. But I also feel that you process when you talk out loud. Now, a lot of people aren't comfortable talking out loud, especially about their feelings, because they don't know where that's going. And I think that for you, it helps you to put everything in perspective. So yeah, I do feel good about it. I also want to say that with your healing journey, you are doing some ancestral healing here. So I don't know if there was drug and alcohol abuse in the family, or if there was some type of like mental illness that may have gone on, but it may have caused for people to be very dark and heavy and out of control. And I feel like you are getting an upper hand on that also. This will lead to you healing others as well. Beautiful. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Again, please do share, like, subscribe. We're going to need it, especially for the month of July. And we will be back, next Monday. Now that we do it every Monday, super simple. Okay, so I will see you next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Have a great week. Thank you, Polly.
You're very welcome. Thank you.